Yeah. So, how's it looking? What's the mood in the camp ahead of going to Barnsley this weekend?
Very, very, very good. I think obviously with the start that we've had, everything's extremely positive. But I think probably more importantly than that, there's been no complacency from anybody, and we've maintained the same levels of work and commitment in training, which I think is important.
Obviously, it was a win last time out against Nottingham Forest. How did you feel the way that game went? Obviously, you won, and it's 4 wins in a row in the league, and you must be very pleased.
Extremely pleased, but also I think assessing the game, it was a difficult game. I think it showed the kind of character that we had, and the spirit, the blocks, people putting their body on the line towards the end. But it also shows you that a team that were without any wins, how difficult a game that they can pose you. I think that was our most difficult game of the season up until that point. And people on the outside might have been looking in thinking that we might have had it easy after their start to the season, but they posed a lot of threats. We made it slightly more difficult than we'd have hoped after obviously going 2-0 up, but delighted to get the win and the 4th win obviously in a row to make it a perfect start. So yeah, everything's positive moving forward.
How do you see the challenge of Barnsley? Obviously, Gerhard Struber's moved on there, so does that make things a little bit awkward in a way? Because I guess they haven't got a head coach, and you don't know maybe what to expect from them in a way.
It could do, but it's something that we can't control, obviously, in our camp. So, not sure what will happen over the next few days in terms of that. But we're continuing to work and try and assess. Maybe it makes it slightly difficult in terms of knowing what team they might pick and the personnel. But I think it'll probably be very similar to how they've played in terms of their approach over last season and obviously the beginning of this season. I think it'll be a very difficult game. From what I remember last season and what we've spoken about, is a team that like to press, have a lot of energy in their team, and are quite expansive too going forward. So I'm sure they're going to cause us a few problems, but we've been doing the work this week and assessing kind of how we can hurt them also, and I think we've seen a few things that we can hopefully exploit.
There's a lot of stats in football. Has anyone mentioned to you, and I guess they probably have, about the 4 wins in a row at the start of the league season, that it matches the 1927-28 season of Bristol City? Has that one been thrown around at all?
So we've heard it, yeah. I think it's good. It's nice to make history, I think, as a team. But I think it's also obviously important to understand that it's only the start and it's only 4 games. There's obviously a hell of a lot more to go. But we couldn't have done any better up until this point in terms of the points that we've got. But I still think that a real positive we can take out of it, there's still room for improvement for us and lots to work on moving forward. So we'll continue to strive to do that. And I think that will stand us in good stead.
How are you personally finding the first few months at Ashton Gate, and how have you spent your international break?
Bit of time with the kids, nice family time, so really, really enjoyed that. It's nice to kind of reset, I think, sometimes with a couple of days off, mentally, I think, more than anything, and come back kind of refreshed, moving into this week. And sorry, what was the question before that?
Just how you're finding your first months at Bristol City.
Really good, actually, yeah. I've mentioned it a few times when other people have asked. It hasn't really took me any time at all to settle in. The lads have been extremely welcoming. I obviously knew a few of the guys as well, which I think helps with that. But everyone across the board that's been involved with the club, and even people that haven't been involved with the club that I've come across, everyone's been extremely welcoming and very helpful. So I'm grateful for that, for sure. And it's made things much, much easier for myself.
You were a Scotland international. Did you watch any of the Scotland games over the last few days?
No, I didn't. I had a complete switch off from football for a few days, and spent time with the family, which I think is important. So, no, I haven't watched any football for a little while, actually.
Do you still harbour any aspirations on the international front, or how do you see that?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's always a great honour every time that I play for Scotland, for sure. So if that's something that comes up in the future, I'd be happy to do that for sure. But I think that only comes with kind of success on a personal level with your club. So I need to concentrate on that, I think, first and foremost, doing my job here, being the best that I can be for this team. And if those sort of things come up as a result of that, then I'd be delighted, yeah.
Last time I checked, I think you are top of the charts in the Championship for the assists. Is that something you've clocked as well? And
I was a bit disappointed, actually. I didn't get the other assist for the goal against Forest because the defender just got a little nick. But I think it's something that I can bring to the team. As we've seen over the first few games, I think it's one of the strengths that I can bring. But I'd also like to score more goals, and I think that's something that I know that I can improve on. And I've seen some areas that I can improve there. But ultimately, I'm contributing to winning football, which, as a striker, no matter what, I know people will think that strikers are selfish, but I want to win. And if it means setting somebody up to score the winning goal, then I'm most definitely up for that.
Bristol City have got some good options in attack. What have you made of your fellow strikers, Famara, Jeju, Anton Semenyo and Andy Weimann?
All of them are very good players. I think it's very, very healthy to have that competition for places as well in that area, and I think people have shown that, whether it be starting the game or coming on, that they've got that hunger and desire to put the work in for the team, and also got real good quality. I've been very impressed with a lot of the guys in training, not just those guys, but a lot of the guys and kind of how people go about their business. But I think that's going to be extremely helpful throughout the season to have that quality and the strength in depth in that position, because we're going to need it with the amount of games that we play.
And you've got that partnership going already, it seems like, with Naki Wells. Have you come across Naki before?
A couple of times, only kind of playing against each other and stuff, and seeing each other maybe on the subs bench, like we did last season. Actually, me, Pato and him were substitutes at the same time. We were only kind of making a joke about that a couple of weeks ago, actually. But no, I've always been impressed with him, actually, from the outside, looking in at clubs that he's been at and his record and his instincts, I think, as a striker. And I think we've got that understanding, like you said, developed that quite quickly. And I think our games are quite good to gel together, I think, with the different attributes that we can bring. And hopefully we can continue to prosper in that partnership along with the team. Has
anyone in the Championship this season so far caught your eye, other teams or players at all? I know it's early days, but...
Good question. I haven't watched too much, I've got to be totally honest. I think I watched a little bit of some of Bournemouth's game. I think they'll be strong this season. But apart from that, I haven't watched too much apart from the games and the assessments and stuff, and all the scouting videos that we've had for the games that we've played. So it kind of works like that. You're kind of very selfish as a team and as a player, I think, in terms of just worrying about in-house. There's obviously going to be some teams that are very good. We'll wait and see. I suppose over the next kind of month or so, we'll get more of a picture in terms of how the league's going to look. But it's always a very tough division. I've been in it for a good few years, seen pretty much everything that is possible to see, and it's always extremely competitive. I think one of the most competitive leagues in the world. I expect it to be exactly the same again this season. And it's going to pose a lot of difficulty, I think, but it's a real challenge that we're looking forward and hoping we're going to embrace it.
Nice one. Good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.